that means season have changed. So when season change, what you should do is to turn back to God. Turn back to the God who led you. You know, you had him at first. So now that the season have changed, you need to go back and hear God. And that is why I want to proceed with the second point. What you should do when season change is that you need to know what God is saying now. So before, God led Elijah to the brook. That was what God said yesterday. So what is God saying now that would help Elijah in this new season? Now that the brooks have changed, what is God saying now? So when we continue reading that verse, the Bible says that, and the word of the Lord came to Elijah. The word of the Lord came to Elijah and said to Elijah that he needs to leave that brook. Elijah needs to leave that brook. For somebody, it might not be that you should leave the business you are doing. It might be that it's time for you to expand that business, or it's time for you to change location, or it's time for you to diversify. So it depends on what God is saying. So to Elijah, God is saying, I'm still in the business of supplying for you, but there's a need for you to change location. So if Elijah continues to stay where the brook is dried, still insisting that it is God that has led him there, is going to suffer. However, it is not God's will that Elijah should suffer. So what you should do when seasons have changed is that you need to know what God is saying now. You need to know what God is saying now. It is not enough for you to, just walk by what he said yesterday. Thank God for what he said yesterday. Rejoice, be grateful for what God has said yesterday. But what is God saying today about that situation? So the word of the Lord came to Elijah, and God told Elijah that he should go to Zarephath, and that he has provided a widow there that is going to supply Elijah food, that is going to bless Elijah with food. I'm surprised that God did not send Elijah to the prime minister of the country or to one wealthy family. God sent Elijah to a poor widow. Can you see that? He sent Elijah. So when God is leading you, it might lead you to what seems like there is no way. He's leading you to what seems like minute, what seems not significant. But if it is God that is leading you, if he's the one leading you, just obey, just follow. So when the brooks get dried and the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the present, Elijah had to hear what God is saying in the present. When season change, you need to know what God is saying in the present, that he should go to a widow. I know that he has already prepared the widow. According to the word of the Lord, Elijah went there and Elijah met with the widow.